Hey guys, welcome back to Mr. Levy's Math Room. Now, what we are going to be looking at in this session is rounding off. Right? Now, in rounding off is the same as approximation. Right? Now, we can either round up or we can round down, depending on where we are coming from and where the number we are heading towards. Right? Now, what we are going to be looking at, we are going to be looking at these numbers here and we are going to round them to the nearest 10, 100, and 1,000, nearest 1,000. So we're going to round these numbers down to the left to the nearest 10, nearest 100, and the nearest 1,000. Now, when we are rounding a number up or down, so let's say we're rounding the number up, we're rounding it to the nearest 10. The first thing we need to do is identify the digit that is in the 10th place. So that's the first thing, rounding a number to the nearest 10, we identify the digit that is in the 10th place. Then we look to the right of that number, and then of that digit, now if that digit, to the digit to the right of that number that's in the 10th place, we are going to be discarding those, so that plus all the others behind it. So we identify it, and then if that digit, the first digit to be discarded, if it is 5 or more, we round up, meaning we are going to add 1 to the digit in the 10th place. Now if the digit that comes after the digit in the 10th place is less than 5, then we say we round down, or we just keep the digit that's in the 10th place, and we discard the digit that comes to the right of that digit in the 10th place, and we use zeros to replace each of the digits that we are discarding. Alright? So remember, we use zeros to replace or to hold the place of each of those digits that we are discarding. Alright, so let's work out the first one. We have 4,547. So 4,547. So it's good to say the digit, say the number in your head. Right? If you're not able to say it out loud, so that you're calling the value, the place value of each digit, the value of each digit. So we say 4,547. Now, what we are doing, we are rounding this number off to the nearest 10 first. So we are going to identify the digit that is in the 10th place. Alright? So, in this case, this first 4 here is in the 10th place. Right? So we identify that. Then the digit that comes to the right of it, we identify that's 7. Right? Now, if we said if the digit that comes after that is 5 or more, then we are going to add 1 to this. So the 10th place, the digit in the 10th place. So we are going to add 1 to the 5. We discard the 7 and we replace the 7 with a 0. Okay, so we should now have 4,550, since we're adding 1 to this 4 here. Alright? Now, let me put this in black since the red doesn't seem to be working out so well. So that would be 4,550. Alright? Since 47 is closer to 50 than it is to 40. Alright? Notice. So now let's just finish. So we are doing, okay, let's just finish with the tens. So we are rounding 7,952. 7,952 to the nearest 10. Alright? So what digit is in the 10th place? Good. 5 is in the 10th place. So we identify that. 5 is in 10th place. Now we go to the digit, the first digit that is to the right of the 5, and we determine if it is 5 or more or less than 5. If it is less than 5, we just keep the digit that's in the 10th place, and we discard the 2 and we replace it with a 0. In this case, the digit that comes right after the digit in the 10th place is 2, so that's less than 5. So we simply discard it and replace it with that 0. So now that would give us 7,950. Alright? Now it's important now, guys, to ensure that we replace the discarded digits with zeros, because if we don't do that, then guess what? The value of the number is going to change. Now, if we were to leave off the 0 there, you know we are coming from 7,950. Now, if we were to just add 5 and leave the 0 off, what number is that? That's 795. That would have changed the value completely. Alright? So we need to replace the discarded digit with zeros. Okay. Well, let's go to the other one. We have 3,761. 3,761. Alright? Now what digit is in the tens place? Very good. 6. Use my red. So 6 is in the tens place. Right? Now there's only one digit to the left of it, to the right of it, sorry. Now that one digit there is 1. Alright, it's number 1. Now we now must determine if that digit is 5 or more or less than 5. Now in this case it's less than 5. So we simply discard it. Right? And we replace it with a 0. Alright? So we now have 3,760. Alright? Now let's go to the other one, 8,490. 8,490. Now what digit is in the tens place? Notice it is 1. Very good. So that's 1. Now we look at the digit that comes exactly to the right of it, and we must check if it is 5 or more. It is, because it's 9. Now we are going to add 1 to the digit in the tens place, and we discard the 9 and replace it with that 0. So that now gives us 8,420. Alright? Good. Now this one we have 8,137. Alright, now we identify the digit in the tens place. That digit is 3. Alright? Now we look to the right of it, exactly to the right of it. The first digit is 7. Now we must now determine if that digit is 5 or more or less than 5. It is more than 5, right? It is 7. So we simply add 1 to the 3 to give us 4. We discard the 7 and we replace it with that 0. Good. So we now have what? 8,140. Good. Now let's move over to the hundredths place. So we are rounding now to the nearest 100. So go back up here. Let's erase this. Erase that. Alright. So now we must now determine what digit is in the hundredths place. In this case, 5 is in the hundredths place. So we have 5 in the hundredths place. We look to the right of that, immediately to the right of it. The digit that comes immediately after it is a 4. Right? Now, we have established that if the digit that comes right after the digit in question is less than 5, we discard them or it, replace them or it with zeros, right? And that's it, we don't add anything, right? So in this case, the digit is 4. So we are going to simply discard these two, the 4 and the 7, alright? And replace them with zeros. So we're going to keep the 4 and the 5, so that's 4,500. Alright? 4,500. Then we go to the next one. Identify the number in the hundreds place. It is what? It is 9. Alright? 9 is in the hundreds place. Now we look to see what digit comes exactly after that, to the right of it. It is 5, right? 5 right here. So we say if the digit that comes exactly to the right of it is 5 or more, we add 1, right? So, and then we discard the others. So in this case, it is what? 79. Now, but just look at what's going to happen. If I add 1 to the 9, I'm going to get what? 10. I'm going to get 10. So it simply means I don't have to add 1 to the 8. Alright? So, and if I add 1 to the 8, to the 7, I'm going to get 8. Right? So that will now give me 8,000. 8,000. Because notice I'll have to discard all 3 of these digits. Because when I add 1 to 9, I'm going to get 10. I cannot write all 10 there, can we? No. So we now have to add 1 to this 7 to give us 8. And that gives us 8,000. Alright? Now let's go to the other one. Now what digit is in the hundreds place? It is 7. Right? So 7. 7. Now let's look to the right of that, immediately to the right. We have a 6. Right? It's more than 5, or 5 or over 5. So we add 1 to the 7 to make it 8. So we now have 3,800. So 3,800 because I'm discarding the 6 and the 1 and I'm replacing them with zeros. Alright? Now let's go to this one. We have 8,419. Now what digit is in the hundreds place? It is 4, yes. Now let's look immediately to the right of that. Immediately to the right we have a 1. Right? Now that 1 is less than 5. So we simply what? Discard those digits to the right of the digit in the tens place and we add zeros. Right? So we have 8,400. Alright? Then let's go to this one. We have 8,137. 8,137. Now, what digit is in the hundreds place? It is 1. Then we are going to identify the digit that comes exactly to the right of that. It is 3. Now that digit is less than 5. So we are simply going to discard all the digits to the right of the 1 and we add zeros and we keep this 1 as in the tens place. So I now have 8,100. 8,100. And notice that even though we are rounding the numbers to the nearest 100, we cannot ignore the numbers to the right, to the left of it. Right? After the digit in the hundreds place, we have to rewrite that as well. Alright? Or else it's going to change the value of the number. I couldn't just write 100 there, because the total, or the number is 8,137. Okay? Now let's move over to the thousands place. So I'm rounding now to the nearest 1,000. Okay, now let's call the number again. The first one says 4,547. Now we identify the digit in the thousands place. Now in this case it is 4. So we have 4. We look to the right. Immediately to the right of 4 we have a 5. Alright? Now we are now going to add 1 to this 4 to make it 5. We are going to discard these 3 digits and replace them with zeros. Alright? So that will now give us 5,000. Good. Then now wait for the next one. We have 7,952. Good. So we have what? We have 7 in the thousands place. Immediately to the right of 7 we have a 9. Okay? Because this 9 is 5 or more, we're going to add 1 to this 8 and we discard the other 3 digits that come to the right of it. Alright? So I now have 8,000. So that's 8,000. Alright? Now, next one, we have 3,600. 761. In the thousands place, we have a 3. To the right of it, immediately to the right, we have a 7. Right? Because it's 5 or more, we are going to add 1 to the 4, to the 3, sorry, to make it 4. Then we discard these 3 digits and we replace them with zeros. So we now have 4,000. Alright? Notice we cannot just write 4 because that would be just 4 ones. Alright? So we have to replace the discarded digits with zeros to keep the approximate value of the number. Alright? Now let's go to the next one. We have 8,419. 8 is in the thousands place. Then we look immediately to the right of 8. We have a 4. Now that's less than 5. So we are going to simply discard all these 3 digits here and replace them with 0, and we keep the 8. Right? So we now have 8,000. 8,000. Right? Then for the other one we have 8,137. Now what digit is in the thousands place? 8. Right? What digit coming immediately to the right of it? 1. Right? So because it's less than 5, we are simply going to discard it and keep the 8. We replace all these digits here with zeros. So that gives us 8,000. Alright? Now that's it. So remember now that any digits we are going to be discarding, we must replace them with zeros. Alright? And if the digit that comes immediately to the right of the one in question, we must, if it's 5 or more, we add 1 to the digit immediately to the left. And if it is 4 less than 5, we simply discard them and replace them with zeros. Alright? So that's it for now. See you next time. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do so. So just like, subscribe, and share. And I'm encouraging you to ensure that you practice. Practice makes perfect. So see you next time.